Lord, I know Beyonce is bootylicious, but Jesus, is she driving all of these people crazy because of the Super Bowl performance? Really? Guess what? Cops now are complaining, saying they're calling for a boycott of her Formation tour because she attacked cops during her Super Bowl performance, where she actually honored the women in the Black Panthers. Nowhere in her performance were cops even mentioned. But it was Rudy Giuliani who went on Fox and Friends who said this was an attack on cops. Well, the minister had a couple of words to say about that at Savior's Day in Detroit in front of 14,000 members of the Nation of Islam. Press play.
Now, you know, people are terrified. Beyonce? Giuliani said, on the greatest platform in the world, the Super Bowl. She started talking that black stuff. And white folks said, we don't know how to deal with that. Well, you taught us everywhere we went about the Holocaust. But we have sympathy for you. But when one of us shows some independence, look at how you treating Beyonce now. You gonna pick it? You're not gonna offer her police protection? But the FOI will. So we say to the hip-hop community, to our cultural giants, say what you feel. Put it out there with strength. They allowed you to call your women bitches and whores. Now put it out there how you love your black self and you want to see black people free. We'll back you up.
Boy, that might be interesting performance there, having the Fruit of Islam roll in with Just Go Right to Our Pants. This to me is hilarious. Where all these cops stay in their feelings. Mm-hmm. Now, they didn't say jack about the massive police cover-up of Laquan McDonald's murder. Mm-hmm. These cops didn't say, Rudy Giuliani didn't say jack about Akai Gurley being shot and killed. Didn't say anything about Sam DuBose in Cincinnati, but they mad because Beyonce
is saying something. It's
had some sisters in some black and gold outfits and some afros, and that ain't losing their mind.
Yep. And who wants to be, like, the fact is, in the video, she just says, stop shooting us. Who wants to be shot by the cops for doing that?
No. That's the
like
video.
Just a bare minimum there.
But there was nothing in a Super Bowl performance was they complaining about.
Not.
But here's what jumps out at me when you talk about them complaining about the Super Bowl and complaining about everything else. The Black Panther Party was founded because of police brutality.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani. If there is no police brutality, then there is no Black Panther Party. Super Black.
I have said to you over and over again, stop being logical and rational about these white folks like Giuliani when they say these things. They're expected to be anti-rationale. They expect to throw some kind of bad print on the likes of Beyonce. He did something that had not been done before. During the Super Bowl, she was pro-black. During the Super Bowl, she praised the Black Panthers, which we've been trained to think the Black Panthers were this violent, awful group, which they're not. They, like Roland mentioned, they came into existence citizens to protest police brutality.
Right.
So, of course, people like Giuliani, who has a memory, who really has no problem with police brutality and racism and institutionalized hatred of black people, he is offended by her throwing a wrench in the normalization of that process.
Right. And I think that's also the point, is that we don't want over-policing. A lot of the police brutality that we see is when we're at the height of black joy, right? It's when we're listening to loud music or we're with friends, when they over-police us. Just in Tampa alone, kids went to a fair, got in trouble, and a young man named Andrew was found on the side of the road dead. So when you look at that, like, yes, we actually don't want y'all to come. I would love to go to a Beyonce concert and see black folks self-policing ourselves and having a good time. I think that's the point of it, that we don't want them there.
Well, that's your point.
I mean, there's nothing to say. You can't defend, you know, Republicans that want to conflate Beyonce and violence and Black Lives Matter. I mean, there's nothing to defend there. I mean, I agree with everything that's been said.
Well, go ahead.
You're not being a good Republican.
No, I think that's part of the. I think that's part of the problem. I mean,
What's part of the problem? Being a Republican?
No, I think people feeling that being a black Republican means that you have to be in lockstep, you know, with Rudy Giuliani and Sheriff Clark and all these fools, you know, that say things like that. I mean,
but it seems to be the foundation of a lot of what they believe. Not saying,
attitudes.
like, I'm not in lockstep with Democrats, right? I disagree with them a lot, but those are the core principles of that party. That a lot of these things rest on racist rhetoric around black folks not standing up for themselves and fighting back. You have Beyonce, which I think because she put it on the national stage, they didn't want their Super Bowl interrupted, right? They're like, we came to watch black people run the ball. We didn't want you all to use this as a message and stand up for yourself. So now there's all this unreasonable pushback. It's unreasonable.
Well, it's unreasonable if you don't look at the fact that white supremacy and white power wants to stay in place. See, that's the part that we keep mentioning forgetting in our analysis. There's a white power system that does not want to be interrupted, that does not want to be challenged, that has no problem with black people being murdered, that has no problem with the cops doing what they do. Here comes Beyonce saying that it's wrong, and she has this huge profile and this huge position where she can actually influence the masses, and they don't like that.
All right, well,
I think it's a bit disingenuous to say that Republicans.
To say what?
To say that Republicans don't care about some of these issues. I mean, if you look at the cities where a lot of this are occurring, it's in Democratic cities run by Democratic mayors, but Democratic power structures.
But it's also happening in states with Republican governors.
Right.
So regardless of what party is a mayor, at the end of the day, what you have is Republicans are silent on many of these issues. And the bottom line is, that's the problem. When you criticize this, when you criticize the Super Bowl performance, you look stupid. And Rudy Giuliani looks stupid. And all those cops out there, if y'all don't want to make all the extra money working security, fine. It's some other cops who will take the job. And so Beyonce, been from Houston, H-Town, pound your business.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. News 1 Now with Roland Martin. Every weekday morning at 7 on TV 1.